Hi, everybody. Today is August 15th, 2016, and that means it's my 2-month Surgiversary. So I wanted to take a moment to give you guys a quick video update of how I'm doing and what the past 2 months have been like. They've been pretty uneventful, which is why I haven't done another update since my original one where I shared why I decided to have weight loss surgery in the first place. I can tell you it's been 2 months, and I really don't feel like much has changed with my body, um, other than my hair. Obviously, you can see I cut it way off. I've never had hair this short before, and I did that kind of to counteract the possibility of losing your hair or having your hair be thinning once you have weight loss surgery, and partly because at first I wasn't sure I was gonna go public with the surgery, and I wanted people to notice that if something seemed different about me, it would be my hair. And frankly, that's worked. I mean, I did go public, but not everybody knows. There are still people at work who don't know, and all they've ever commented on is my hair. They haven't commented on any weight loss. Part of that fuels my belief that there really hasn't been much of a difference in my body with the weight loss that I have had. I've almost lost 40 pounds. I was hoping that today I would hit that milestone of 40 pounds down. Yesterday I was zero point 0.3 pounds away. Woke up this morning and had actually gained a pound, such is life after weight loss surgery. So I should hit that milestone this week, but it's funny because with almost 40 pounds off, that sounds like a lot, but when I look in the mirror, I don't see a change. When I look at pictures, I really don't see much of a difference. My mom, of course, tells me all the time that she can tell I'm losing weight. A few other people have said something like that to me, but when I look in the mirror, I just don't see it. Even when I wear a shirt or a dress that I know that I couldn't wear before surgery, it still feels very much like I'm exactly the same person, especially when I'm still wearing 2X shirts or size 20 jeans. Um, and I think that's something I'm probably always going to struggle with. I've always been fat Mandy. That's what I've always seen when I look in the mirror. Um, I know they talk about anorexics who struggle with body dysmorphia, which kind of fuels their anorexia because when they look in the mirror, all they see is fat or areas that need to be worked on. And I firmly believe that that is something that those of us who have weight loss surgery and lose weight very quickly also struggle with because we see what we're used to seeing, not necessarily what is. That's why I've started taking these comparison photos every month, hoping that once I put them side by side, I will actually begin to see a difference. You can see those on my blog if you are interested. The link to that's in the description of the video. Um, so I also wanted to share with you a few things I've learned since I had the surgery. First, I am very lucky. A lot of the stories I read before I had surgery were of people who got very sick after the surgery. They couldn't eat. There were a lot of foods that would make them vomit or keep them nauseous. People had leaks or ended up very dehydrated and ended up in the hospital. Some had infections. A lot of people just ended up being miserable and unhappy and completely disgusted by food. And while part of me wishes some of that had happened to me just because I wish that food was more of a deterrent to me, I've been perfectly healthy. The surgery was fine. I came through it with flying colors. I almost had no pain at all. I was off pain meds within 3 days, switched just to Tylenol. Um, Nothing has made me vomit. I haven't found a single food that I can't tolerate. That I call my sleeve my mini me, and it loves all of the same foods that I loved before. Um, and I can eat spicy food. I can eat rich food. I don't know about greasy food because I haven't tried anything fried or greasy. Just because that seems like that would be a really bad idea when I'm trying to lose weight actively. The only foods that I can't have per my surgeon at this point are steak, pork chops, raw vegetables, stringy vegetables like asparagus, things that are just harder to digest. We're trying to give the sleeve as much time as possible to heal before we start making it work really hard. Um, so my taste buds didn't change. Everything I liked before, I still like. I still have cravings. Um, the good thing is that I literally just cannot eat as much. And so when I do have a craving, I can find an alternative, something I'm allowed to eat, and I end up satisfied. I'm not hungry anymore. Head hunger has been the biggest struggle, especially, if you watch TV. I was a person who fast food was, my staple. I lived off of fast food for months and years prior to the surgery. And so when I watch TV and I see those commercials, I really struggle with the desire to go get a cheeseburger or a Coke, or chicken nuggets. Lord help me, Burger King has those fried Cheetos mac and cheese bites now. And all I wanted to do was try those since they came out. And they came out the week after I had surgery. Um, I have not had them, and I'm actually okay not having them. Say hi to Riley. She's trying to say hi to everybody. Fast food's a trigger for me, and it is always gonna be a trigger for me, and I just have to learn how to eat in moderation. I have learned that having the sleeve is not a diet. This is a lifestyle change. And what I choose to do now has to be sustainable. I have dieted so much in the past where I deprived myself for days or weeks, and eventually I hit my breaking point and then I binge. And binging is physically not possible right now just because it would make me extraordinarily sick and uncomfortable. But um, I'm learning a lot about portion size and, moderation. I have had carbs. I haven't had a lot of sugary things. I haven't had cake. I haven't had real ice cream. I've had Arctic Zero and Halo Top, both of which are, sleeve friendly. Although I have to admit, I find the Halo Top just too sweet because since I haven't had sugar in so long, it's just ridiculously sweet to me. Um, Food is fuel, not comfort, and I'm trying to really embrace that mentality. Um, I don't have the capacity to drown my emotions the way that I used to. I can't sit down and eat, a whole bag of potato chips or a whole bag of chocolate candy like I used to. And frankly, right now I don't want to. I'm still obviously in my losing phase, so I am trying to steer clear of those. I don't even buy them. My snacks are cheese and more cheese, and deli meat. Turkey's good. And I occasionally have a little bit of peanut butter, but mostly it's cheese and deli meat. Um, I've also learned that I'm stronger than I thought I was. Um, I guess whenever you make the decision to have major surgery, that there really is just something in your brain that kind of flips on or off. Um, in the past, I never would have been able. Riley, please go away. Please go away. She just wants to talk to you guys too. Um, in the past, I wouldn't have been able to maintain um, the food that I'm eating now. It would be completely unmaintainable. Not eating carbs every day or pasta or sugar or, burgers or fries. Um, Even though physically I could do it, my brain just would not let me because my brain always won. My cravings always won. And now that I have this sleeve, um, it's manageable. Um, Something in my brain has shifted where I believe that if this is something that I wanted enough, where I had major surgery, then I'm gonna do everything in my power to do it right and to take advantage of this tool and not to eat what I am not supposed to eat. Just because the sleeve means that I physically can't eat as much doesn't mean that I can still eat the pizza and the burgers and the potato chips and the french fries. I have to learn and retrain myself on eating protein and eventually vegetables. I am at a place where the amount of food I can eat is increasing slowly. Initially, it was literally the first solid food that I ate was a scrambled egg, a single scrambled egg, and I could only eat a quarter of it, probably not even a quarter of it. that was 2 weeks after surgery. I was still very inflamed. The restriction was very, very severe. 2 months have now gone by, so most of that is gone. So I can eat a whole egg. I cannot eat 2 eggs, two scrambled eggs at least. I can eat 2 hard-boiled eggs. When it comes to protein, like chicken, 2 ounces is about all I can eat. Anything more than that, and I start getting really uncomfortable, because I am trying to get as much protein as possible from food and not protein supplements. I'm still really not eating fruit or veggies, because I simply just don't have room for them. By the time I get my protein in from the food, I'm just too full and can't eat anymore. Because of that, I have realized that I have to have protein supplements. So I do protein coffee, um, which is really great, because I am allowed at least 1 cup of coffee every day. And so I do some variation of cold brew coffee mixed with either Gene Pro protein powder or Premier Protein, or I just started with the Vanilla Amplify. So protein coffee is, the best thing ever. I'm also doing some protein bar reviews on my blog, and you can see which ones I like and which ones I don't. I usually can't eat more than half of a protein bar at a time, just because my sleeve doesn't let me. 3 or 4 bites of dense protein, like a protein bar, is just enough, and any more is going to make me feel uncomfortable. Um, I've also learned that having a support system, either physically or online, is absolutely integral to success. I don't think I could have done this by myself. I felt like I was going into it alone because I made the decision by myself. I didn't ask for advice from anybody. This was just something I wanted and I chose. But I just don't think I could have done it without my family, mainly my mom and my granny, being so absolutely supportive of me doing this, and being respectful of the food they eat in front of me now that I've had surgery. My mom and her husband have actually cooked for me several times since I've had surgery, and they always ask first, what am I allowed to eat? They run by me what they want to make and make sure that it's something that I can at least eat part of. And so that's just been really helpful. And my online community has just been amazing. Instagram is awesome. There are so many people on there who are sharing their journeys, who are inspiring, and who just kind of help you understand the path to take. And when you see other people who are eating the same foods that you are and are stuck with the same limitations that you are, it's really helpful to know that you're not alone. And Facebook has been wonderful. There's a group of us who had surgery this summer-ish. So we've all been kind of right there together, and I don't think I would have been nearly as successful without them, because I can go there for questions or encouragement or inspiration, see their journeys, share my own, and that's just been amazing. The last thing I've learned, well, I'm still trying to learn, really, is not to compare yourself to others. Everybody is different, and I mean everybody is different. You lose weight at your own pace, and you lose weight in, some people lose it in their gut, some people lose it in their chest, other people lose it in their legs first. So comparison pictures even don't really paint a clear picture. I can't be upset that at 2 months out, I've lost 40 pounds when, Susie Q has lost 60 or 75. 40 pounds is amazing. And 40 pounds is 40 pounds less than I weighed 2 months ago. It's less than I weighed, 2 years ago, or actually probably even 5 years ago. So trying not to compare myself to others who have had the same surgery, who are going through the same thing as me. It's something that I know in my head, and I'm just trying to internalize in my heart, because I'm impatient. I'm so impatient, and I want all of the weight off now. And when I see somebody who had surgery in May has lost 75 pounds, and I had my surgery in June, and I'm at 40, and I know there's no way I can lose another 35 pounds in the next month, it sometimes it makes me upset. But I understand that that's just an emotional issue. Rationally, logically, reasonably, I understand that I am doing wonderfully. I have lost 40 pounds. I know I keep saying that, but it's every time I say it, I just don't believe it. I've never lost 40 pounds before, and I'm gonna lose 40 more. I'm gonna lose more than 40 more. I am on track to make my goal, and that's really all I can ask. Um, I do not regret this surgery one bit. Some things are hard. Um, when they bring donuts to work, or we have a potluck at work, or they put in bagels and cream cheese for everybody, it can be difficult. A lady walked around individually to everybody's office with something she had made and offered it to me, and she seemed really offended when I turned it down. Um, but I had to say no. If I had said yes and taken it and then just thrown it away later, that would have been way too tempting for me to eat it. So I said no. And these are things that I never would have done before, ever. I always had birthday cake. I always had donuts because I always justified it. And now I don't want to justify it. This surgery has really made a difference in how I feel about myself and how I feel about my future. And I can only hope that things continue to get better. So that's where I'm at 2 months out. I know this is really long, and I'm sorry about that. I tend to ramble sometimes. But I just wanted to say everything that I've been thinking and feeling, and I will do another update in another month, maybe 2. We'll see. I might do one when I hit 50 pounds. I'm not sure. We'll see. So I hope you have a great afternoon.